lore, the tea, the family drama.
Next to someone that is so proud of you and that you're so proud of, it just makes it just clicks. Everything just makes so much more sense.
Need to know more. Need it inside your scoop.
She didn't announce it. She didn't hint at it. She didn't even try to soften the blow. In just 7 days, Rachel Zegler did what few in Hollywood would dare. She wiped out her entire team, agent, manager, publicist, gone. No goodbye posts, no polite statements, just a wall of silence. And in a town where silence usually means scandal, Rachel's sudden purge sent shockwaves through the industry. Was this a breakdown, a meltdown, or the first move in a much bigger game?
My name's Rachel Zegler, and I'm getting ready, and I'd love if you came inside and came on the journey with me. Welcome to my hotel room. Come in, come in, come in. Team! We're doing it again. Team!
It began, as these things often do, with whispers, quiet phone calls, sudden disappearances, profiles scrubbed clean. Insiders say Rachel made the calls herself, one after another, like a queen clearing her court. No warnings, no renegotiations. One day, they were there. The next, they weren't. Her agent, who had negotiated her Disney contracts, out. Her manager, who'd been with her since her breakout role, out. Her publicist, the one who managed her image through her first stumbles into fame, gone. No spin, no carefully worded statements, no carefully managed transitions. Just a series of brutal, final goodbyes. And it wasn't long before the industry started asking, what happened to Rachel Zegler?
But I just want to say, in my personal life, I intend to move forward with a lot more grace for myself as I grow. There is a lot that I don't know, and I won't know it until I learn it, until I feel it, until I understand it, until I can see it in my hands and say, I am not broken. I am just learning. My break is not my end.
To understand the implosion, you have to rewind to Evita, the project that was supposed to be Rachel's grand comeback. A prestigious production, a chance to reinvent her image after months of backlash. Instead, it became a battlefield. Whispers leaked from the set, screaming matches backstage, actors storming out of rehearsals, anonymous legal threats, and through it all, no comment from Rachel's team. No spin, no defense, just silence.
Do not act like you're a victim. It's part of the business. It's Hollywood, baby.
I am just learning. My break is not my end.
You are not done, and we are not done with you, Rachel Zegler.
Insiders claimed Rachel clashed with everyone. Directors, choreographers, even fellow cast members. Some said she came in with her own creative notes, suggesting lyric changes, modern rewrites, even tweaks to soften Eva Peron's political legacy. Others said she refused costume fittings unless they were handled by an all-female crew. The tension was palpable. It wasn't long before the Evita set turned toxic and Rachel's team, they stayed silent. No press releases, no interviews, no damage control. Rachel, it seemed, was left to fend for herself. And when the backlash hit, when the memes, the mockery, the outrage started flooding in, she found herself alone.
In the video, they'll be studying this interview in PR classes for a very long time.
This is the interview that started the I hate her, I'm not gonna watch this movie movement.
But if silence was bad, betrayal was worse. Because according to multiple insiders, Rachel didn't just feel abandoned, she felt betrayed. Rumors swirled that her agent had been quietly shopping her around behind her back, that her manager had called her unmanageable in a private chat with a producer, that her publicist had warned her she was heading for career suicide and distanced herself just in time. Rachel wasn't just losing her team's loyalty, she was losing their respect. And once she found out, she didn't hesitate. One by one, she made the calls herself. Cold, final, no arguments, no second chances. In Hollywood, they say you can always tell who holds the power by who ends the relationship. Rachel ended them all.
This is not exactly an apology video. It doesn't feel like it's an apology video. Should she apologize? I think if she came off a little bit more apologetic for the not so great interviews, for the cringy, unprepared things that she said on interviews, maybe it would appease more people.
At first, the industry gossiped. Then, They panicked because the firings weren't isolated incidents. They were the start of something bigger. Rachel's name started disappearing from the project rosters. Paddington 3, gone. A big-budget Apple TV animated project, pulled. Sources blamed scheduling conflicts. Others whispered about something darker, a soft blacklist. When you become a risk in Hollywood, the industry doesn't issue press releases. They just stop calling. And Rachel wasn't just being ghosted by the studios. Even her former allies were turning on her.
There was an in-depth piece, like a behind-the-scenes piece, talking about how they've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now. They flew an executive, one of the producers, out to go visit personally with Rachel Zegler to say, could you please take that down? And then they had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue.
Within days of the firings, the first leaks appeared. Anonymous posts, screenshots, DMS internal Slack messages, and they weren't flattering. One alleged message from her publicist: "We can't keep cleaning this up. She won't listen. She just wants applause." Another from her manager: "I've done damage control for years, but now she is the damage." Insiders claimed her agent had been quietly warning casting directors for months about her growing unpredictability, not to sabotage her, but to protect other clients from the fallout. And suddenly, the story shifted. Rachel wasn't the victim of a mutiny. She was the architect of her own downfall, or at least, that's what they wanted you to believe.
This video is gonna get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because that's what my whole existence on the internet is just me being taken out of context and stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it? But I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly.
But Rachel wasn't going quietly. Sources close to her say she's considering legal action, not just for a breach of contract, but for professional sabotage. If she can prove her team undermined her career behind the scenes, she could be entitled to millions in damages. But legal victory or not, the court of public opinion was already deliberating. And Hollywood was already moving on. Directors started removing her name from shortlists. Producers quietly replaced her in casting meetings. Even Disney, her once loyal champion, began pushing Snow White without pushing Rachel. No official blacklists, just a chilling, suffocating silence. In an industry where reputation is everything, silence is the kiss of death. One agent put it bluntly: Rachel Zegler is radioactive right now. No one wants to be the next project to burn.
People are putting it down to the lead of the film, Rachel Zegler's slightly strange PR and communications strategy. Jackie, what can our viewers and listeners expect?
Well, I don't think she's got a strategy, for starters. I think they just leave that in the past. What was their motivation behind doing this? And why is Rachel Zegler allowed to just skip off piste with her own messaging and really upset the apple? Whose fault is it? Is it Rachel's? Is it Disney's?
Brilliant. We discussed this and so much more. It's Rachel Zegler.
This wasn't Rachel's first fall from grace. After West Side Story, she was Spielberg's golden girl, an Oscar-buzzed darling. But after Snow White, things changed. Rachel dismissed the original story as outdated, mocked the prince, alienated fans who grew up loving Disney classics. The internet reacted brutally. Clips of her interviews went viral for all the wrong reasons. The memes were merciless. The backlash was relentless. And Rachel's response: more honesty, more candor, more controversy. Instead of walking it back, she leaned in. Instead of apologizing, she doubled down. Insiders say Rachel has a pattern, building walls instead of bridges, cutting out critics, colleagues, even friends. Now, psychologists are calling it what it looks like: an isolation spiral, a dangerous pattern where a rising star begins to believe everyone is out to get them and ends up pushing everyone away.
Rachel Zegler is reportedly struggling to get hired. Rachel Zegler was supposed to be in Paddington 3, however she was dropped from that movie a few weeks ago, and they said that they dropped her because of the actors' strike. However, there are numerous actors in Paddington 3 that are a part of SAG, yet they're still able to film in the movie. So people are speculating that it might be because of another reason, and most likely is because of the Snow White backlash, and studios not wanting to hire her given the fact that it might result in their movie not making a whole lot of money at the box office. She also voiced the lead character of an upcoming cartoon that was meant to be part of Apple TV. However, Apple dropped the cartoon film. However, it was picked up by Netflix, but people are wondering why Apple dropped it in the first place, and people once again are saying it's because of this Snow White backlash and them not wanting the movie to suffer because of her backlash.
Even her most loyal fans have started asking uncomfortable questions. Is Rachel cutting out the toxicity, or is she cutting out everyone? In Hollywood, cutting the wrong people can cost you everything, and Rachel may have just crossed that line. But if you think Rachel is giving up, think again. She's already plotting her comeback on her own terms. Cryptic Instagram posts, quotes about freedom, independence, and shedding dead weight. Sources say she's quietly building a new team, not studio-appointed handlers, not Hollywood insiders, but strategists known for rebuilding stars from scratch. One is a branding expert who helped Lindsay Lohan during her comeback. Another, an indie producer specializing in edgy, self-funded films. A third, a YouTube documentary creator who helps celebrities control their own narratives. Rachel's plan, a personal media project. Raw, unfiltered, unapologetic. Her version of the Meghan Markle reset, no studio oversight, no PR filters, just Rachel telling her side, her way, and in today's media landscape, that might just work.
A big reason why so many people are turned off by Rachel Zegler's attitude and behavior. I think it's because it's reminiscent of this. I'm not saying that she's a mean girl in real life, but that attitude usually is something that people associate with mean girls in real life. The cattiness, the smugness. At the same time, I also think that it's just because she's a theater kid, so the way she acts makes sense and she just needs PR training. But anyway, I think people are just so done with the mean girl persona, like it's not funny. It's a major turnoff, and I feel like social media personalities have thrived on it before, but now girls are just done with it. And that could be because of the mistreatment that a lot of women have gotten in their lives from other girls. And so now growing up, after going through these mistreatments from other women in our lives, we're like, no. We're done with this. We are going to be an example, and we're going to call out the girls who are not for the girls.
The truth is, Hollywood loves a comeback, but it loves a good collapse even more. Redemption is rare. Reinvention is even rarer. Rachel's betting she can beat the odds, that she can turn the scandal into a second act. But here's the catch. Rebuilding takes more than a few cryptic posts and indie documentaries. It takes trust, it takes humility, it takes time, and time in Hollywood is a luxury few stars can afford. So here's where we are. Rachel Zegler, no agent, no manager, no publicist, just a phone, a platform, and a reputation in tatters. Was this a calculated reset? Or the beginning of a slow, public unraveling? Firing your team doesn't erase the headlines. It doesn't delete the viral clips. It doesn't fix broken trust behind closed doors. But maybe Rachel isn't trying to fix anything. Maybe she's trying to burn it down and rebuild from the ashes. It's a risky move, one that could either resurrect her career or finish it once and for all. Because in Hollywood, the audience remembers everything. But they also forget fast if the comeback is good enough. Will she rise again, stronger, wiser, redefined, or will she fade into the silence she created? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain, this story, it's far from over. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked in. Because in a town full of comebacks and collapses, Rachel Zegler might just be the biggest plot twist yet.